Good morning. It is Coach Erica here, your friendly and fabulous online personal trainer and menopause coach. I own Driven Fitness. I've had this company for 14 years now. We offer strength training, personal training, classes. It's Friday, my brain's a little fried. Small group classes and semi-private training on Zoom or here in studio in Nevada. And I also am the founder of Ignite a Vibrant Life, which is my women's brand, where I help coach women through the process of perimenopause and menopause. Such a frustrating process. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Cortisol. So I got this question about cortisol on a phone call the other day, so I thought I would address it because the information in the news and media and social media right now about cortisol is out of control. So let's talk about it. So the question was, I was talking to someone who was having some typical issues with the perimenopause time of life. All of a sudden, the things that she had normally been doing were not working anymore. And we were talking about the kind of exercise that she should be doing moving forward to really get results. And one of the very important kinds of exercise for women is high intensity interval training for a variety of reasons. So taking your volume of training, maybe from like an hour, 90 minutes, some of us do at a time, down to shorter, like 30 to 40 minute intensity driven sessions. And her question was, well, I thought I wasn't supposed to be doing high intensity because it boosts cortisol. So that is what I want to talk about today. We need to stop demonizing cortisol. And even I talk about in my coaching, and I've talked about it here before, the issues with high cortisol over long periods of time. So yes, it can be a problem. But cortisol is not all bad. Like, we need it in our bodies. It is a hormone. And it has a lot of important functions. Number one, what we most know cortisol is our stress hormone, and it's our fight or flight hormone. So if something goes wrong, if you are stressed, if you need to be alert to a dangerous situation, cortisol floods your system and it helps create the energy you need to fight or flee, right? So we need it in that case. It also gives you energy. Cortisol is produced during exercise. That's why you feel energized many times after a good workout, because it is released, and that's a good thing. But some of the other things that cortisol does is that it helps regulate insulin. It helps regulate metabolism. It actually helps decrease inflammation when it's in your body at the appropriate amounts and the appropriate times. So cortisol isn't all bad. Our goal should not be to get rid of cortisol. That is not the goal. The goal is that we want to have cortisol in our bodies in the correct amount of time and at the right amount of times. And Molly just wants to say good morning. She is, as you can see, cortisol, not a problem. Okay, so cortisol, it does become a problem when it's chronically high. And in many cases, for many people these days, our cortisol is chronically high because we are in constant stress. And that is one way that cortisol can be boosted all the time, because when your body experiences stress, that's when it's released. But stress can also be because of lack of sleep. It can be because you're not exercising. It can be because you're not eating well. There's a variety of reasons that cortisol can be elevated. So what I don't want people to do is say, oh, well, like my cortisol is high, that's why I'm not losing weight, or I don't want to do exercise because it boosts cortisol and I'm trying to get rid of cortisol. That is not the goal. What we want to do is work on the habits in your life that are creating the cortisol at the wrong periods of time. So the other thing is that many times in my coaching, I would say 90% of my coaching clients for my hormone program, yeah, they probably have high cortisol, but they're also not doing the other things that they need to do to lose weight, which is, making sure you're eating well in an appropriate amount of food, making sure that you're exercising many times a week, daily walking over 10,000 steps a day, all the things that you should be doing regardless of cortisol. So if your cortisol is chronically high, yes, you may have a hard time losing weight. That is true. It works against losing weight, and it particularly promotes belly fat. But don't use that as an excuse for not doing all the other things that you should be doing. So I suggest you focus on all of them at the same time. And going back to the beginning question was, I didn't think I was supposed to be doing high intensity because it boosts cortisol. Yes, it boosts cortisol. That's what exercise does. However, what we want to work on is then letting the cortisol decrease throughout the day so that it's low at night and you can go to sleep and it's functioning and cycling as it should. So there are things you can do to help regulate your cortisol, like exercising first thing in the morning so it boosts high and then has all day to come down. Eating properly, reducing stress, sleeping, all those things. High intensity intervals for women 40 and above, there are so many benefits for it, and high intensity intervals, including heavy strength training, produce such better results and will give you great benefits regardless of the cortisol issue, that don't decide not to do those things because of cortisol. And if you need help, if you feel stuck, call me. I have 2 slots open in my Fitness Through Menopause coaching course right now. I only take about 2 clients at a time because it's a one-on-one 5 to 6 week coaching program. So call me if you need help. If cortisol is a problem, you can get it measured. So if you think it's a problem, go get it measured so you know, right? You have a benchmark. If we don't know, then let's work on your exercise together, your stress together, and your nutrition together so you start seeing changes. All right, I hope that was helpful. Remember, take everything you see on social media with a grain of salt. If you have questions, please do not research Google. Come to a professional so that we can actually help you get a strategy in place that will work for you. All right, go out, have a great day, and I'll see you next time.